This is session number 4 of my absolute beginners boxing basics series, which is designed to help anyone get set up for any punch bag workout, shadow spar workout, or any boxing based activity workout. Now this session we focus on our punch call out number 2, which is our rear straight, and we really take our time on this session. All right, I really want you to get embedded in feeling this punch transition through the legs to then stretching out into the end of that punch. And it takes a bit of time to do that. I want you to really develop a nice bit of muscle memory. We take it slow to begin with. We'll increase pace just very slightly, but it's not so much an active drill. We're just practicing movement nice and steady. So it's just nice and relaxed, no need for a warm up or anything like that. And you don't need any kit. If you just stumbled across this video and you're interested in setting something up, utilizing a coaching tool like this, then first of all, like this video and then subscribe so you can just find it again. And as I've just said, this is a coaching tool which does require participation. It's not just something that you can watch and then go, oh, I'll try that. Do it alongside. It's designed to be done that you work alongside with it so that you can start to develop yourself real time. Now, if you, again, have just stumbled across this and you haven't completed any of my previous sessions, I've put links for all the previous sessions below, starting from session number 1 all the way up to this, which is session number 4. And once you've completed session number 4, there's also a link below that you can then go on to session number 5. So your workout is about to begin. Away you go. Right, so on this section, we're working through on our rear straight to the head. Very effective punch, usually really powerful. And I want to make sure you get it right. I want us utilizing our legs through this, utilizing our stance. And what we'll do is we'll build up on the basic technique on how we want to be throwing it. Then we'll do some actual punch calls so you can get to practice it. We'll build that up nice and steady. And then you go into your next section, you'll work it with your footwork. So let's get started. I'm going to show you me facing this way because it'll better make sense to you. So we're sat in our stance as you've been going through so far. We've got our guard up. Now with that rear straight, what we're looking for is this. The punch starts in this back leg, all right? And just like with the jab, as I told you to put that pressure in on that back foot and throw it forwards, it's exactly the same thing really as we're going through the back leg, except the turn now happens through this hip at the back, okay? So we're putting pressure down immediately. And when I'm saying pressure, I'm not saying lean back into it. It's just a little bit of a push down through that toe to then throw that hip round and then follow through then to finish off the end of the punch. If we have a look at the mechanics of that as I push it through slowly, I'm going to put the pressure down through the toe. So watch this. Pressure through the toe, rotate the hip, and then extend out to finish that punch off either into the punch bag or onto someone's head. Now, I've exaggerated how far I've kind of turned around there a little bit. So I'm going to go a tiny bit quicker so you can see how it kind of works. Putting the pressure down in that back leg. From there, throw the hip round, extend out there. I felt better with that one. Always, as I've said, return to that stance so that your legs are nice and soft afterwards. Try not to get stuck after we've thrown a punch and you've just gone flat-footed. Return to that so we can produce some effective punches again. So watch again. I'm going to put that pressure down in that toe. I'm going to throw the hip around. I'm coming out and I'm extending out. And again, if you have a look as well, you'll see my chin nice and hidden behind my shoulder there, which if we are doing it for either sparring purposes, which I know you're not, you're doing it for a punch bag workout, but we like to keep it as real as possible. You're covering your chin with your shoulder as well through there, okay? I'll show you from the front. So watch again. We've got that guard up, elbows tucked in, up onto that back toe. That is an absolute necessity. And remember, we're not going to have that foot pointing behind you. From there, put the pressure in that back foot, roll that hip around, and then we're coming out and extending into that rear straight. Keeping this backhand up on the face all the time. What can tend to happen if you're going to go to sleep as that handle come down. We don't want that. We don't want to be open. We want to be nice and tight because our punches are going to flow and we're always being defensively quite solid then. All right. So watch again before we go through the drill together. All right. We're going to push on that back foot, roll the hip around, and we're finishing off at the end of the punch. So all the weight started there. It's transitioning, flowing through the body, out to the end of the fist. All right. So we're going to drill that now. I'm going to call the punch number 2 continually. Just like I did with the jab, I was calling 1 continually, same sort of principle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the different angles again. So I'll say number 2, I'm just going to go through nice and steady. Try and follow my speed if you can, so that you can just get used to the movement. At the minute, I'm not even going to call it that we're throwing a punch. We're just trying to develop the movement, that transition through the legs, pulling it through, getting that hip turning around. You can watch me, you can work out what you're doing with your body, and then we'll just increase intensity as we go along. Right, so let's get the guards up ready to go. Sit into your stance. Make sure you're up onto that back toe. Keep those elbows tucked in. Get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1. Rounds live. 2. So roll that hip around and then pull it back. Roll that hip around, throw that fist out and pull it back. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. Okay, I'll change angles. So if you pick up anything more, the details of where you feel you need to be, okay? Get ready again. 3, 2, 1, and 2. 2. Feel that twist round with that hip. Get ready. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. Okay, I'll change angles again so you can see it from this way. Get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1, rounds live. 2. Roll that hip, extend out, bring it back. 2. 2. Make sure you're keeping that guard up on that front hand as well. 2. 2. 1 more to do. Get ready. 2. And rest down, shake off. Right, it can be awkward when you're doing it at that painfully slow pace, but I just want you to get the mechanics on how you're going to move. We're going to step it up now. I didn't even call that a 60% pace, and I usually do. That was probably a 30% pace. We are going to step it up now. So speed-wise, we've got that guard up, don't forget. We've got to turn that pressure into that back foot, roll that hip around and extend it out. Speed-wise, we're going to work probably around this pace now. Let it flow out. We're still not putting a full snap in on the punch yet. I want you coordinating this back leg turn with this punch so we can roll it up. Let's get yourself ready. Let's get that guard up. I'm going to push out in 4, 3, 2, 1, and 2. Get that elbow in again. Bring that guard back. 2. 2. 2. Pull that hip around. Make sure, because this happens a lot, it's just come to me. Just make sure as we're going through on the speed, and as the speed increases, what people can tend to do is turn their leg and end up putting all the weight into that front leg. And we don't want that. We still want that nice balance. Even though we're generating some power on that back toe, I'm keeping everything flat down, keeping those feet on the floor. And that's quite important, because if we're going to return into other punches, you're just not going to be able to do it if all that weight's in that front leg and there's nothing really in that back leg. It's very hard to then transition quickly. So make sure you've still got that weight kind of in both legs, as we've got that push through, roll that hip forwards, but we're not overloading this front leg. Just thought I'd tell you that. Okay, get yourself ready. We'll go again. Again, we've got that slight increase in pace. We haven't quite got that full snap. Get yourself ready. 2. 2. Turn that hip round. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. I'll change angle so you can see how I'm working this through. Get ready again. Same pace again. 2. 2. If you notice as well, I'm nice and soft in those legs. As I return, you'll probably see me bouncing through the legs, okay? You can do the same. Always get a feel for your weight being 50-50 on that return of that punch, okay? 2. Get that roll around with the hip. That moves first. The trail is then followed through with the punch. So at the power end, we've started the power transition here, and then we're finishing that power transition at the end of that punch there. Ready? 2. 2. Keep that front hand attached to your face. 2. 2. 2. I'll change angle again. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Round live. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. And rest down. Okay, so we've got one more sequence to do. And this time, go as quick as you can on this one. If we can produce a bit of a snap, if you feel ready for that, then do so. When I say snap, I mean that punch coming out full velocity. Sorry for the sound effects there. But if not, you just work through with what pace you're comfortable at in producing that movement at the minute. That is more important than producing full 100% snap yet. I'm not going to go 100% snap. I'm going to say probably about 80%, 85%. Okay? Get yourself up into position, up onto that back toe. Same position again. I will do the different angles if that is helpful. It's usually helpful to see how I'm performing. You can kind of feel how to correct yourself then. Get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1. Rounds live. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. I'll change angles. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Rounds live. 2. Be reactionary on these. Really try and work that hip turn. Be as quick as you can through it. You see now with this increased pace, my bobbin's gone increased. I'm sorry, I can't help that. You work how you want to work. 2. 2. 2. Stay up on that back toe. 2. 2. 2. I'll change angles again. Get yourself ready. Into that stance. 3, 2, 1, rounds live. Keep that back toe up. Keep that guard up. 2. 2. Keep that hand next to the face on that front hand when you throw. 2. 2. 2. 2. And rest down. That is this section complete. Go on to your next section where we'll do some basic movement left and right with that number 2 and the number 1.